Well, the improving job market is not only good for adults, but teens too. In fact, just this morning, Target announced that it's raising its minimum wage to $10 an hour.
Yeah, but when it comes to summer employment for kids, 16 to 19, what are the pros and cons? Well, family psychologist Dr. Wes Crenshaw is here. He's going to talk about both sides, but really, this is one of the best summers in recent memory for kids to try to get a summer job.
Yeah, it's gotten better every year, and we really are seeing a trend after many years of kids not really participating very much in the job market. They've tended to come back after the recession. There just weren't a lot of jobs for kids because folks that came out of the workforce were doing the jobs at the drive-thrus and college kids, college-bound kids, families have really in the last 20, 30 years not wanted them to work. They are instead pursuing the application process, which we will talk about in a future segment, how out of control that can get. So too much essay writing and too much resume building and not enough work sometimes.
So you touched on what the trends were. What are some of the positive aspects of teen employment?
Well, you know how your grandfather would always say, you don't know the value of money. Well, that's at the top of the list, is working at a job causes teens to really be a part of the economy, and it develops what we call in the business grit, this idea of resiliency, that if you have to mop the floor and clean out the grease pit and deal with angry customers, you begin to develop some ability to handle those situations, which is really critical in the workplace later on.
And you don't act like such a jerk either.
Well, one would hope, though this is a process of socialization that also comes in that situation. And it really does help kids to develop their abilities, and it can also be a good backup. 41% of kids that go to college this fall won't graduate in 7 years. They're going to have to be doing something. So having some high school work experience can be critical.
And a $100 pair of jeans, I think, means a whole lot more to a kid when they realize they had to work 15 or 18 hours for them versus
Granddad
just
was
mom
right.
giving you the credit card.
Yeah.
What are some of the negatives?
Well, of course, it's easy for a job to overwhelm a kid and keep them out of the academic environment, or keep them, even in poverty. This is one of the biggest problems for low-income folks, is balancing having to work and getting your academics finished so that you can move up. And it's hard for everybody, so it can be a distraction. It's weird. It gives kids more disposable income than they're going to really have down the road, and so kids get this expectation, almost the wrong lesson, that they're going to have all this money, and then they get out on their own and all that disposable income goes to utilities and rent and silly stuff like that. And so it gives kids kind of an unreasonable expectation. And sometimes jobs don't fit very well with the college career, the direction you're headed, and so it's hard to make those an analog sometimes for the real career world.
Parents are involved in all these decisions here. In general, what's your advice for parents when teens are seeking jobs?
The pros really do outweigh the cons, I think. I see it as very valuable. You do want to try to seek that analog. Like if you're going to be in business, a job at a drive-thru can be pretty handy. You're handling customers, you're making change, all that kind of stuff. But if you're interested in the medical profession, it's not going to be as helpful. You might want to look more at something like a CNA to get you some entry-level work. And the biggest issue always is you've got to help kids manage time so they can balance work, school, and life. That stuff about friends and dating and all that is actually important. It isn't just throwaway leisure time. It's actually pretty important. So you have to help kids get all of those things into focus.
Perfect.
Sound sage advice.
Thank
you, Dr. Wes. Appreciate it.
Good to be here.
Hey, if you have questions about this morning's segment or you'd like to learn more about Dr. Wes Crenshaw, he has offices in Prairie Village, Lawrence. You also can find him online at dr-wes.com.